Here we are. This is the 8th week. You have done it. The 8th week of our hip and knee osteoarthritis program, Fit Joints. You worked hard. You made a commitment to be as consistent as you could be. Sometimes life gets in the way, and that's okay. You did it, and I'm so proud of you. And I tell you, every single class, you tried your best. You stayed positive and you listened to your body and went at your pace. This is a program for life. It's not just fixing an injury that will heal and resolve. We're working on muscle control to maintain better joint control and better symptoms. So today our little education session, not exercise, education session is about preventing osteoarthritis, OA, and slowing down the degenerative changes and symptoms. So there are 6 recommendations that are evidence-based, and I'm going to go through them with you right now. And there is a PDF that I will attach and also bring to class for you on Monday. Alrighty, number 1 recommendation, be active every day. I think you're getting that point across. You're hearing it loud and clear from me. Be active every day. Physical activity doesn't have to be exercise per se. It can be just getting out for a nice walk. It can be in the garden, playing with the grandkids as well, housework. But physical activity is important. We kind of look at it as getting the joints moving in a healthy, regular movement way, not kind of, housework can be, or yard work, gardening, those can be challenging and difficult tasks. So when we look at physical activity, it could be biking, swimming, a gentle game of tennis if you prefer, or golf, um, from the walking to the hiking. So take your pick, make a list, doing some strengthening, doing some flexibility exercises. Um, these things are all important, and that gives you plenty of options. Find what works best for you. And remember the motivational elements PDF that I sent you, and I will print that off to you for tomorrow's class. That list gives us good suggestions of how to grow motivation. Motivation just isn't something that is easy to come by. So going through that list and really trying to figure out what is your why. Why are you exercising? Why are you trying to do as I'm asking you to do? Because it has to be for life. And for me, what is my why is how I feel after. I've challenged myself as well, realistically, so that I can feel accomplished and I don't feel defeated. Um, your level of fatigue is all about your joint health. Sometimes if joints are a bit more sore and sensitive, then you don't want to challenge your fatigue too much, but you want to challenge yourself and do something that's realistic that you can say, I did it and I feel better. And you should feel better after. Clearer mind, more calm, um, better posture, and just better, less pain, less stiffness. So that is recommendation number 1. Exercise is medicine, and it does prevent, and it is the best way to manage symptoms, and we know that. Number 2 recommendation is to control your blood sugar. We do know that high levels of blood sugar are associated with an increased risk of osteoarthritis. Symptoms absolutely can be exacerbated and be prolonged by eating foods that are high in sugar. And inflammation is often called a silent condition. It develops unnoticed over time, contributing to chronic conditions and diseases like type 2 diabetes and osteoarthritis. So just be aware of sugar and read labels. Keep a healthy body weight. Recommendation number 3, extra weight puts extra stress on your joints, and my joints too. Now we're talking about our weight-bearing joints, particularly our lower back, hips and knees. When we are overweight, men and women are at a 4 to 5 times higher risk of knee OA, and we know that. So the experts do estimate, and you might find this quite fascinating, experts estimate that for every 1 pound of body weight lost, your knees will feel 3 to 4 times less pressure every step. That's amazing. So think about the healthy eating and the reason why you're doing that. Reduced inflammation, better symptoms, and less pressure on your knees. But how do you lose weight if your joints are sore? Right now, your exercise is really about reducing the pain and getting stronger and teaching the hip and knee and lower back to be in the right position. So it's a very controlled exercise. It may not get your heart rate up much. So you get out for those walks or you swim. But eating is, we're looking at a variety of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, perhaps a little bit of low-fat dairy, but dairy is contributing, is an inflammatory food. Sorry, so we want to be mindful of the amount of dairy that we do consume. Eating lean meats, fish, those lean proteins are very, very important for maintaining and helping us put on muscle, especially as we get up into our 60s, 70s, and 80s. The term sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle as we get beyond our late 40s, it does begin. We want to make sure that we're eating enough protein with all 3 meals and our snacks to control the effects of sarcopenia, because it will happen, and it does happen. We just don't want to lose too much muscle too quickly. And also one more thing is to make sure you get enough water every day. All right, recommendation number 4. Prevent injury. As simple as that may sound, you work and I work at every week working on strength, so strength of our core, strength of our glutes, strength of our legs, working at flexibility and your balance. And challenge yourself in those areas in ways that would be realistic. Don't make it so that it's too difficult to achieve. You feel defeated. Make it fun, make it interesting, find different surfaces to stand on. We've got various things here, as you can see behind me in the studio, to use for balance and to use for strength. Find what you like and work at exercise each week for strength, flexibility, and balance. Also, proper footwear inside of the home. If you have indoor shoes, make sure they're not too big. They're not sloppy feeling. Um, Proper footwear for outside when you're walking. In the wintertime as well. Maybe there's better boots that have better grippers, especially if you enjoy hiking. Your home environment and your environment elsewhere outside of the home. Um, be aware of tripping hazards. In the home are the rugs, cords, things that are on the floor, going down steps if you've got things in your hands. Can you see? Are there things that are dangling that you might step on and send you down? Be aware. Outdoors are the raised sidewalks where they're not even, sloping sidewalks and walkways that in the wintertime are, slippery potentially. Be aware of all these things. Grass and its unevenness and kind of little potholes that are hidden in the grass. Hiking as well at the surface, especially if it's covered in leaves. Be careful and just be mindful of where you are walking. Number 5, pay attention to your pain. What causes your flare-ups? They're going to happen, but as you take note of what contributes to a flare-up, you'll have better control of inflammation, and it won't make you feel so down either. What causes flare-ups is overdoing it. It could be, spring has come and you're in the garden and you're out there for that full day or several hours. Break it up. Make sure that you know you're going to break it up. Even house cleaning. Maybe errands, maybe doing too many errands or being just up on your feet for too long is an overdoing it factor. Break it up, okay? Repetitive movements as well. Down and up, in and out of squats repeatedly. Very difficult and can flare up hips and knees and lower back. Prolonged standing on the knees, hips, lower back, very hard. So perhaps you have a time limit and you know what that time limit is. Be mindful of that. Over time, we would like to see that you can stand for longer, but maybe 15 minutes is your time limit. Be mindful of that. Too sedentary. Now, being ill is one reason, but if we're just kind of needing a little motivational push, someone to encourage us to get active every day, be mindful of how long you are sitting. We do know that even though we are encouraged to exercise and exercise every day, and that could be 15 minutes morning and afternoon, perhaps if too much exercise is too problematic for you. 30 minutes every day is rather reasonable. But if you're sitting for the rest of your day, that's also a problem. So be mindful of the duration of time that you do sit. Bone spurs. Bone spurs definitely are a contributing factor for flare-ups, and depending on how you move, you probably already are aware of that. There's certain movements that you know you try to avoid. So being mindful of those, moving well, and that's what our program these past 8 weeks has been about, keeping the lower back, the pelvis, the hips and the knees in their right place as we're going through simple movements of stepping up and stepping down and lunging to pick up something down low and standing up and sitting down. All these very common things we do many, many, many times in a day. We want to know where our body parts that are sore and sensitive are properly placed, and we want to build that awareness so it gets easier and easier for us. Cold temperatures, does not like our joints. Barometric pressure changes, of course, as you probably have felt as well, can contribute to flare-ups. Weight gain as well. And as I said earlier, in what we eat is the sugar intake and the inflammatory foods. So take a look again, review that list that I gave you, the printout and the handout of the anti-inflammatory and inflammatory foods. Learn it, post it on your fridge. That's where ours is. It's the best place for it to be. There's really no other place for it to be. And if it's stuck in a drawer, what is it doing in there? Get it out. Laminate it. Ours is laminated. And get that magnet on the back, and on the fridge it goes. Last recommendation is vitamin D3. Now, D3 we know may help prevent the onset of osteoarthritis and slow the joint damage. Now, while study results, and that is randomized controlled studies, the results have been mixed, but in general, the researchers do suggest that vitamin D3 may be protective in osteoarthritis. And it's really not harmful, and it's one of the few recommended vitamins to take. Vitamin D3 promotes calcium absorption, and it enables bone growth and repair. So because osteoarthritis has a bone growth component or a bone change component, researchers are continuing to study vitamin D3's role in osteoarthritis development and progression. Now, you're asking, what do we eat? Where are the foods that are contributing to vitamin D3? And it is D3. Your fatty fish, so that's your salmon, your tuna, your mackerel, absolutely. Your eggs. There are fortified foods, cereals, breads, some juices, some dairy, but again, I ask you to be on the scant side. Don't have too much dairy. It does contribute to inflammation. And that's about it. So the recommended dosage for vitamin D3 is 600 to 1,000 international units each day. That is the safe dosage for adults to take. In our family here, we all take it from young and older. And that is really it. Now, if you feel that there is information that was left out, send me a message. If there's something that you feel is contributing to your progression or to the control and the better management of your osteoarthritis, let me know. I want to hear from you, please. As this is our last week in this incredible and very unique education and exercise program, remember, you did it. You are amazing. You kept consistent. You worked hard and you listened to your body. I'll say it again. And that is the only way to make sure that you enjoy it, that you feel the benefits of it. And that is your why. Maybe that's not your why. That's my why. But I try to encourage you to feel good and exercise at your pace. Don't ever, ever, ever compare yourself to what anyone else is doing or what their osteoarthritis is like and what you're able or not able to do. Don't ever compare. It is so different for everybody. If you are listening to this video and you have not been involved or not aware of this 8-week program, give me a ring. So I'll post all of that information in the description within this YouTube link, and you can contact me and we'll go from there. Hopefully we can help you. All right, my time is up. I can keep talking, but that is enough. It is Julie Bellini here, your registered kinesiologist from Human Performance Solutions, and I thank you very much for not only listening, but for being a part of what teaches me. I learned from you. Thank you very much. Keep well. Bye.